The Cottage Awakening. A small stone cottage sits in a picturesque countryside, surrounded by wildflowers and lush green hills. The sun peeks through grey clouds as birds chirp faintly. Inside, Cherish, a woman in her mid-30s with dishevelled hair and tired eyes, sits by the window, staring blankly at a cup of cold tea on the table. Dust motes dance in the air, and the room feels both cosy and lonely. To the world, Cherish's cottage was a dream, a little slice of paradise, but inside, it had become her prison. A knock at the door startles Cherish. She peeks out the window, seeing Mrs. O'Connell, her neighbour, holding a basket of fresh eggs. Cherish, muttering, "Not again!" She opens the door reluctantly, her smile faint but polite. Mrs. O'Connell cheerfully greets, "Morning, love. Thought you could use these. Haven't seen you about in weeks." Cherish, hesitant. "Thank you, Mrs. O'Connell. That's very kind of you." The older woman places a gentle hand on Cherish's arm. "It's not kindness, dear. It's care. You're not forgotten, you know." Cherish nods, her eyes welling up, and watches as Mrs. O'Connell walks away. She closes the door and leans against it, a tear slipping down her cheek. Cherish goes about her day in silence. She waters a drooping plant, barely eats, and curls up on the couch. She looks at an old photo of herself hiking in the mountains, smiling vibrantly. The contrast between the photo and her current state hits her hard. Sometimes it's easier to ignore the world than face the storm within. But storms pass, if you let them. Later, another knock. This time it's Liam, a young boy from down the road, holding a bouquet of wildflowers. Liam, grinning. "Mum said you might like these. They're happy flowers." "Are you happy, Miss Cherish?" Her throat tightens. She kneels to his level, taking the flowers. "Cherish," softly. "Not yet, Liam, but I think I'd like to be." That night, Cherish lights a fire in the hearth and pulls out an old journal. She writes for the first time in years. "Dear me, it's time to start again." The next morning, she opens the curtains, letting in streams of golden sunlight. She steps outside barefoot, feeling the dewy grass beneath her feet. Over the next weeks, she makes small changes, long walks through the fields, tending to her neglected garden, baking bread for neighbours who stop by. Slowly, the colour returns to her cheeks. Cherish hosts her first gathering in years. The cosy cottage is alive with warmth and laughter as neighbours share tea and stories. She looks around, feeling a sense of belonging she had almost forgotten. "I thought my walls kept me safe, but really, they kept the world out." Healing isn't about being alone, it's about letting others in. Cherish, standing in her garden as the sun sets, a radiant smile on her face. The road back to yourself is never easy, but with a little courage, a little care, and a lot of love, it's worth every step.